Hey everyone, Tim Shoup here, and today I'm going to show you a small DIY project on how to install a Reme Halo replacement bulb in your Reme Halo unit like I have back here. On the front of the airflow device it says Reme Halo RGF. You can buy these replacement bulbs on Amazon. I think I picked mine up for about $190. They need to be replaced every 2 years. We had an AC tech out and he was telling me, hey, you need to replace that. This is what you can do. Apparently a lot of technicians are referring people to Amazon because the installation with an AC guy is going to cost you a little over $200 in installation costs, plus $200 for the part. You can cut your costs in half by buying it on Amazon and doing it yourself. It appears to be about a 15 to 20 minute installation, according to the tech. I ordered my part on Amazon, and in the box from Amazon, you get what you need to reseal, and you get the gasket, which is between these two pieces, and you receive the bulb, and it's all packaged very nicely. Now I'm known for computer videos, but as a test today, I decided to start doing some DIY projects around the house and filming each of them, because what I'm noticing on the YouTube videos is that they're professionals doing them, and they skip a lot of parts in a lot of cases, and I don't know why, but I want to be very specific, and I want it to be from the point of view of someone that has never done this before. So if you don't want to watch someone who's never done it before, go to the next guy on YouTube and watch it. But I'm gonna do that. This is the first time. We installed this about 2 years ago, and this is the first bulb replacement in the unit. So the first thing you want to do is gather some tools. You're going to need a putty knife. You'll need a flashlight, potentially, depending on where your unit is. And the first thing you're going to want to do is turn off your AC or heater unit, give it a few minutes to shut down completely, and then unplug the airflow device right here so it's not powered on anymore. As you can see, it turns counterclockwise fairly easily once you break the seal on the tape. And then it should pull straight out of the unit. Oh, I still have some tape down here. And voila! This is what you should see when you pull it out. Now there's the outside of the unit and the inside of the unit. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to counterclockwise twist the bulb off of this part of the unit. Now there's going to be 2 wires below there, and there's going to be a wiring harness that we're going to disconnect. So the first thing I'm going to do counterclockwise, give it a little wiggle, and you can see the wiring harness beneath the unit. The next thing we're going to do is disconnect that wiring harness. So the bulb is now completely removed from the unit. And again, this is what you should see after the removal. Now, I have the new unit here ready to go in. Removed it from the box, and you can see it's identical. That's what the plug should look like. I don't know if you can see that on the bottom. we're going to first connect it back to the harness. Now, it should only go in one way. And we are connected. I just slid that in there. I'm now going to feed these cables back down so they don't get pinched. So kind of use your thumb to feed those back down. And then once you get the cables fed back down, this is what you'd be looking at. You want to get it to where it'll twist on clockwise. There we go. And that's what it should look like when you're done. Now the next part you can do before replacing the ball, and I actually recommend that, but as you notice, there's still tape around the outer edge here, so I'm gonna use my fingers and a putty knife, and I'm gonna remove all of that before putting the unit back on. So earlier in the video, I talked about what was in the box. You have the seal and you have a gasket. Now, the gasket is to replace the original gasket underneath the Reme unit. So to replace the bulb, you don't necessarily need to replace this gasket. And honestly, you wouldn't be able to, because the way this gasket is formed, there's a hole cut out. And if I put this up here, it's going to cover the unit anyway. This gasket, from what I can tell, is meant to go underneath the complete unit to seal it to your AC unit. For what we're doing, we don't need to, because we're not going to remove the actual unit. We're just replacing the bulb. However, we will be using the seal. And the seal, you have a circular seal here. We're just going to run that around the edge of this once we put the unit in. So as you can see here, I used a putty knife and I basically removed all the tape around the edges. What this is going to do is allow for a cleaner seal when I put on, when I add the sealant ring here. So next, we are going to slide the unit back in very carefully, straight in. And as you can see, it'll sit on there. Slide it, make sure it goes onto the screws that are in the three areas. You have one there, and one over here. So we're gonna get it. And again, it's gonna go right down on the slots, and then you're gonna turn it clockwise to lock it in place. There it goes. Nice. It's in there nice and firm. It's plugged in. Now what I'm gonna do, before I seal it, I'm just gonna make sure the unit turns on before we add the seal. So we're gonna go ahead and plug the unit in. And as you can see, the light, you can kind of see it illuminating over here. The light's illuminated. I'm assuming it's working. I'm assuming the UV light's on. But again, you don't want to be exposed to the UV light because it can cause health issues. So you want to make sure, as long as the light's coming on, it should be working properly. So what I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to unplug it, and then I'm going to seal it. Okay, we're going to remove the plug. And this seal ring is going to come next. Now, before you add the seal ring, what you're going to want to do, and again, I'm not an AC guy. I am just a home DIYer. I'm a computer guy. We want to make sure that around the unit, you don't have any rough edges, so this has a good seal. And I don't appear to. Just kind of feel around, and it all feels good. So now what we're going to do is just lay this down over the other tape that's on there. So we're going to peel off the seal, and again, You'll want to be extremely careful because this stuff is super sticky. Now, what I've noticed here is as I put on the included seal, it is not cut accordingly to go around the edges of the unit. So what you're going to want to do is lay the thick part down, cut it in these two corners, and then you can use these different pieces. Now, you can also use sealing tape that's used in many applications. It would probably be easier to do, but since this comes with it, we're going to use what's included. Okay. So I grabbed a pair of scissors and I'm going to go ahead and cut this. So we have one side there. We're going to go ahead and seal that. You want to make sure it's pressed down nice and firm and get a nice seal. Okay, you can see I have one side done. Now we're going to use this tape and we're going to go ahead and do the rest of the pieces. Now, you can see that the middle is still there, so you've still got a lot that you could cut out of here if you needed to use it. As you can see, I've created a nice airtight seal around the edge. And that's it, folks. And just make sure you plug it back in. The red light illuminates. You can see it on my hand there. Red light illuminates, and this project is done. I want to thank you for joining me on this DIY project from a regular old guy that has never done this before. And feel free to subscribe to my channel. Now it's mostly computer related stuff, but if you're into that too, please subscribe to my channel. I will be adding more DIY stuff around the house, as well as computer videos and training videos. So appreciate it. Again, I'm Tim Shoup with Tim's Tech Tips on YouTube, and I appreciate you watching our video today.